Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello, are you so excited? How beautiful is my hair? I don't think I've posted a video with my hair and I've had it for quite a while now. It's so gorgeous and so long. I literally feel like Rapunzel. I feel like a black Rapunzel. You guys, it goes all the way, like, okay, you can't see it, but it goes all the way to my bum. But it's beautiful. Anyways, welcome back. If you're new, please give this video a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, click that notification bell so that you don't miss anything I upload. My name is Dee and I make videos about motherhood, food and lifestyle, and most recently I have added fitness into that because I became a personal trainer. So this video though is about motherhood, and I have been sitting and thinking back to the past year. My son recently turned 1 and I've been thinking, if I had another child, or when I do have another child, what are the things that I want to do differently? And I'm going to tell you in this video. So let's start with number 1. I would give natural birth. Okay, let me explain. I was planning on giving natural birth. I had a C-section. You can check that out. I will put an icon somewhere above here and I'll put it in the description box. You can check my birth story. You can check my birth vlog. So we went to this beautiful maternity clinic and we were supposed to give natural birth. However, my little boy was still very far up. He hadn't dropped down into my pelvis yet. So when I got induced, the induction just didn't take, and then I had to have a C-section. Now I consented to the C-section because the reason I got induced is because he was no longer getting any or enough oxygen from my placenta or from me. So something with the umbilical cord, I don't really know. So they decided, okay, let's induce because the baby is not getting oxygen, i.e. he will die in there. And that's the only reason I consented. I signed those consent forms because I knew that he's not getting enough oxygen. We need to get him out some way, because I had been taking the induction medicine for almost 12 hours and nothing was happening. Like there no dilation, zero, nothing. So we couldn't risk it, and that's why I signed the consent forms. So although it might not be in my hands once again, next time I give birth, I would like to give natural birth. I just want to do it. So it means that I'm going to have a VBAC if I do give natural birth, which scares me. And maybe along the way I might change my mind. But for right now, I want to give natural birth. Number 2, I start expressing right away. So when I went to I laughed because, like, why did I do this? Girl, why did you do this? When I went to the maternity clinic, I left my pump. First of all, I left my pump at home. I left my feeding pillow at home. I left my pregnancy pillow at home. Like, girl, you set yourself up for failure. I was breastfeeding this tiny 2.4 kg baby on like a normal pillow, which didn't help because I needed it to be like, you know, to rise up to here. I don't have big boobs that are just going to hang low and baby's going to suck on them. So yeah, so I get a pump. They gave me medicine to help my milk come in, and when it came in, boy did it come in. I had to hand express, which was very painful. So we had a fridge there, so if I had my pump, I would be able to store the milk in the fridge or the colostrum in the fridge. So I'd start expressing right away. Another reason I would start expressing right away is so that I build up enough of a supply. Now, when the nurse or the midwife came to check on Zion when he was in the billy bed for jaundice, she was like, no, stop, because I was pumping at the time. She was like, no, stop pumping because you're telling your body you have twins. Babe, I really don't care, hey? Tell the body I have twins. Like, I need this milk. And looking back now, right now, I don't have any milk in the freezer. There was a time I had a huge stash. I had such a big stash that some was stored where I live and some was stored at my brother's place in the freezer. And I took that stash and brought it here. And there was a time that Zion was he was probably having a growth spurt or something, but he was drinking tons of milk. And now that I want to stop pumping, I'll do another video on that. I want to stop pumping, but I don't have a stash in the freezer. So that means that I might have to wean him off of breast milk or wean him off of formula. That means maybe I need to introduce more snacks, but we'll do a separate video about coming to the end of my pumping journey. Number 3, I'd start formula right away. I know everybody, oh, breast is best, good for you, babe. For me, I think even if it's to supplement one feed, because in those early days they're like feeding 8 to 12 times. Like if I could just supplement one feed, maybe the feed that Sim does, because he used to do like one feed in the night, maybe the feed that Sim does, they would give him or her formula, that would help me so much. It's not to say that I wouldn't be pumping during that feed, because I obviously still need to tell my body to produce more milk, but it would just make my life so much easier. I would just be so much calmer. And also, when we did introduce formula to Zion, it was a mess, you guys. He was crying all the time. He hated the taste of the formula. He still is on soy formula, and he hated the taste. It took a whole tin, 850 grams of formula thrown down the drain for him to eventually, because I had to be like persistent, for him to eventually like take the milk, you know. So I'd express immediately, and I'd give formula right away. He did have formula in the hospital, at the maternity clinic. He had like 5 mils, but you know, it was like normal cow's milk formula. He didn't react to it this time around, but anyways, yeah. Number 4, I would feed on demand. Everybody has their own way of doing things, and I saw this at the maternity clinic. Different midwives had different pieces of advice in terms of breastfeeding. One midwife was saying you put the baby on the boob until the baby is full. You don't take them away, because then when we went home, the other midwife was saying put the baby on one boob for 15 minutes, and then switch sides, put the baby on another boob for 15 minutes. 30 minutes makes it a full feed. But the other one was saying put the baby on here until, and then next feed, put the baby on this side until. For me, I don't like that, because then you're telling this baby don't produce milk. But anyways, I would feed on demand. We were on a feeding schedule. I'd wake him up every 3 hours throughout the night to feed him, and not wait for him to wake up and say, hey, I'm hungry. Partly because he was underweight. He was like very small, and he still is very small. Like what? You know, now that I look back at it, I'm like, I'm small, his father's small, he's not gonna be a gigantic baby. So yeah, I would feed on demand. I imagine it would help with like sleep at night, because there were some times that he didn't wake up. Then I'd set an alarm and wake him up, and I didn't enjoy that at all. So there's that. Number 5, I'd get a nanny right away. You guys, listen. Look at me. If you are a new mom and you can, get a nanny right away. Don't do what I did. I didn't have help for a long time. It was just me and Zion during the daytime, and gosh, I'm speechless thinking about it. I'm speechless, because I'm like, how do I do it? And then I hired somebody that came in 3 times a week. Still no, get somebody that comes Monday to Friday. Okay. Yeah, that's what I would do next time, is have somebody here every day, because honey, I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm trying to run my businesses, you know. So yeah, get a nanny right away to help out where need be, because then the responsibilities in the house don't just fall on me. Whereas, you know, when it was just Zion and I'd get up like an hour before he gets up to make sure that I put a load of laundry in, I get his bottle ready. Once the load of laundry is done, I've hung it up so that when he wakes up, I'm just changing his nappy, changing his clothes, giving him his bottle, making sure he's sleeping. And then when he's taking his first nap, I'd be like, am I going to nap right now or am I going to wash the dishes? Which sucks. Whereas if there's a helper, I could decide I'm gonna nap, she can wash the dishes. You know, you guys get help. Like, I'm not even joking. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom, get help. You need it for your mental health. Number 6, I do baby-led weaning from 6 months. So this is a big one for me. We started with we started with purees. The first solid food that Zion had was apple puree. I made it myself. And it was a struggle, man. It was a struggle. He didn't like it. He didn't like being fed. He still does not like being fed. And I just find it so much easier for me to put the food in front of him and be like, ta-da! And he decides, I want to eat this or I don't want to eat this. That's great. Then I don't have to be fighting with a spoon. Like, he'd smack the spoon out of my hand and it'd be a mess, you know. So I just go straight into baby-led weaning. Now that I know how to serve food in baby-led weaning style, in terms of fruit, like apple, make sure that it's steamed, do the squish test. If you're serving a strawberry to a child between 6 and 8 months, make sure it's whole and that they can use a palmer grasp like this to put it in their mouths, or even suck on it. Chicken drumsticks, they suck on it. Steak, big pieces of steak, like all those things. Now I know, as a mom that's been a mom for a year, I know how to serve food baby-led weaning style, whereas I was very nervous, and I still kind of am, about the risk of choking. But when you know how to serve the food, you don't need to worry about that. And if you're watching your child while they eat, and you've watched some how to help a choking baby, then you don't need to worry about that. You know, now I'm confident in my baby-led weaning thing. And in fact, purees didn't even last that long for us. We did purees about twice, I think, or 3 times. I did apple puree, pea and spinach puree, and beetroot puree. And it was just always a mess. It was a fight all the time. I mean, yeah, baby-led weaning all the way. Number 7, I wouldn't start working until 3 months postpartum. What was I thinking starting to take cake orders from 6 weeks? No. Like, no. Trust. Like, I don't want to, I'm not taking any orders. I'm not, you know, I think now looking back, because it's all in, like, you know, I'm reflecting on the past year. I'm like, I didn't set myself up properly for maternity leave in terms of making sure that there's always income coming in. But now that I have things like the Modern Moms Meal Plan, which is my online cooking course that teaches moms, modern moms, how to make delicious, nutritious meals in less than an hour. Click the link in the description box to make sure you purchase your Modern Mom Meal Plan. Now that I've got that, and I'm going to be creating more things with my personal training stuff, I always know that I'll have income coming in. YouTube, Modern Mom's Meal Plan, my workout guides, my other cooking courses which I'm going to create for baking, then I'll be okay. But I think I just didn't set myself up properly after Zion was born, which is why I then started working and taking cake orders from 6 weeks. Listen, making a cake is time consuming, it's strenuous, you're on your feet. After a C-section, you do not want to be standing and stirring batter and icing and all of that, or whatever it is that your job is. So no working until 3 months postpartum. I'd even say 4 months. I'd push it to 4 months, but that means I need to make sure that my systems are running. Number 8, I'd use cloth nappies from birth. So now that I know what newborn poop looks like, I'm like, it's not that difficult to clean. So the cloth nappies that we've been using are brilliant. They come in newborn size, and I've got a system now of how to clean my nappies. I'd use cloth nappies from birth. So now that I know what newborn poop looks like, I'm like, it's not that difficult to clean. So the cloth nappies that we've been using are brilliant. They come in newborn size, and I've got a system now of how to clean my nappies, what to do. Obviously, if it's raining, we'll use disposables and all of that jazz. So we've got a huge stash now. From the last time that I did how I cloth diaper my son, our stash has grown, and once I'm ready for baby number 2, then I'll start growing my newborn stash. And it saves money, it's eco-friendly, like there are so many pluses to doing cloth nappies, so I definitely do that. Although we had a couple punamis, no, we had punamis with disposables, so cloth nappies all the way. And the last one, number 9, I'd get a co-sleeper, you guys. So Zion had this nesting pod, which is too small for him now, he's tall, that my sister bought for us for my baby shower. It was a gift from her, and we had put it in between us, so in between Sim and I in the bed, and then Zion would sleep in the middle in the pod. But I would prefer if I had a co-sleeper that was attached to the side of my bed, instead of having the cot on the side of my bed. Please check out how I set up my small apartment nursery. I'll link it in the description box and in the icon above. So I set up that the cot is in that video, it's at the foot of my bed, but eventually we changed it that it's next to me. And you guys, when you are so sleep deprived, even just getting up to look into a cot that's next to you is too much work. I literally just want to roll over and say, hey baby, here's a booby, you know, instead of getting up, looking in the cot, getting the baby, getting the nursing pillow, and sitting back down to nurse. Like, that's too much work. And I was saying to Sim the other day actually that I don't have big breasts, so the side lying position of breastfeeding doesn't work for me because my boobs don't just, like, you know, sit on the side, which sucks. But anyways, let me know if you as a mom did any of those things, and if maybe you can tell me what you would do different if you had another child. Because, you know, life is about learning through experience, and now that I've experienced having a child, I can now decide that, you know what, that didn't work for me, let's try something else. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for getting us to 24k. We're on the road to 25k right now, and make sure that you're subscribed, and please remember to share this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.